This is the Porsche Esports Supercup, one of the most prestigious sim racing championships in the world, and somehow I'm in it. If you've never seen this championship before, you need to understand what I've gotten myself into. The Porsche Esports Supercup is not a casual online racing league. It's a global competition run by Porsche themselves. The best sim racers in the world compete in it. The top split in the simulator is filled with absolute elite drivers. In other words, these are drivers who hold more than 10,000 iRating. My iRating, on the other hand, sits at 3,600 at the moment. And I'm working a 9-to-5 job. So yes, a bit of more than I could chew, but I did it anyway. So here's a broad overview of how this championship is structured. In a nutshell, the championship is divided in three main parts. The global open qualifiers, then come the regional races, and then the world championship. We're gonna stick with the first stage, the global open qualifiers, which basically meant qualifying in the top 29 drivers from my region to make it through the next round of the championship. The good news was that for each race week, we were given 4 races we could compete in, and only our best result out of the 4 counted for the points. To score points, you need a race, and to race competitively, you need a lot of track time. Because not only do you need to learn the track, you also need to figure out a race setup and to find the limit of the car. So I just got off work. It is 4 o'clock and I have a 30-minute drive ahead of me to reach my home. So that gives me roughly 20 minutes to prepare myself before the race, which is at 5. Great. I only had 3 days to prepare for each race week. During those 3 days, I don't have so many available hours to actually practice. I only get the chance to practice after I'm done with work. So that gives me 3 hours per day during the weekdays. The way that I pushed through this was to be as careful as possible with my overtakes and defending. I didn't want to take too many risks, and I saw that a lot of people were, especially as the races went by. I saw a lot of people taking a lot of risks because they were falling behind in points and they had to somehow make it through, and that caused a lot of incidents in these races. That was good news for me, but also sometimes bad news. Especially in this final round where I was really close to not making it through the next stage of this championship and they needed to score good points. I'm really grateful that I went straight home after work to do that final race on Wednesday. There were available slots on Saturday too, but since it was so close to the end, like there were only 2 slots available afterwards on Saturday. And if you didn't make it there, you were done. So going on Wednesday, I went in and I managed to get a pretty decent position, which put me just at the edge of passing through the next round. But then the pressure was on for Saturday because I needed to stay up there and not let anybody else take my place, so I had to defend my points at that point. I was also aiming and striving to get better results. I was still practicing and preparing myself for Saturday, but when the race came, it was chaotic completely. Even though I qualified much better than before, everybody was super emotional and just made a lot of mistakes. They were pushing me wide, they were crashing into me, and even though I started off with faster pace and better position in qualifying overall, I ended up almost last just because of how many incidents were happening. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. So having the mental load that in these final races I did not do well, even though I could have, and there's a possibility now that someone stacked enough points to overtake me in the leaderboards, meaning that I won't make it through. So this is where it gets pretty interesting, because despite of everything, the lack of preparation, the sprint from work to the simulator to make it to the race, the weekly scramble to learn a new track, I managed to gather enough points to qualify for the regional championship. I was the last person who went through I just used every opportunity that I had to my advantage to try to make it through this championship. I'm not gonna pretend that I made a dominant performance or anything like that, because it isn't. I'm at the back of the qualifiers, and the regional championship, which only the top 8 drivers of the region were gonna make it to the finals, it's gonna be even harder. But here's the thing, I made it. While working a full-time job, with only 1 day of full practice per week and a couple of hours between the weekdays, rushing home from work to make it to the races. So 29th position is good enough for me for now.